So for this week, the album that we are going to be discussing is the brand new Lenny Kravitz album, Blue Electric Light.
Mhm.
Blue Electric Light is the 12th studio album by American rock musician Lenny Kravitz and his latest since 2018. It was released on May 24th, 2024. All right, Eric, your thoughts on this Lenny Kravitz album?
Um, it's a lot different from his original stuff, which I'm more familiar with.
Okay.
It's more funky, I find. Uh, I actually enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. I actually felt like I don't know if he had. I feel like he does have Prince influence, but I feel like this was like a very heavy Prince
Yeah.
influenced album,
Yes.
like big time. Especially with the song "Human" and "Let It Ride." I just was like, "This is Prince. This is
Yeah.
totally like Prince." I think he's still got it. Like I didn't realize that he's like in his mid 60s,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
he's just like, and he's rocking out. And I watched the music video for that TK421
Yeah.
song, which I think is very cool. Like it's just a very like just funk
Mm-hmm.
song, and he's like jacked in the
He is
video. I'm
jacked.
like,
Yeah.
I wish I look like that when I'm in my mid 60s. But um, but yeah, like I thought it was good. I don't think it was like anything crazy though.
Mm.
Like I feel like this album can be easily forgotten about.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you on that one. Like a lot of I wouldn't say the album blurred together, but a lot of songs were very like, okay, this is nice, but there wasn't like one of those like big choruses that I could really latch on to or like
Mhm.
a cool melody line, even like a guitar solo. I wasn't like really I don't
Mhm.
really remember any like sort of solos that came up or like
Yeah.
the album sort of just went.
Yeah, and there's no "Are You Gonna Go My Way"
Right.
in this, right? Like it's just very like yeah, I don't know, it's just very generic, I felt.
hmm but I do agree with you. The Prince influence, like the whole album, I was like, this just sounds like Prince. Like
Hmm.
so many of these songs just sound like a Prince song.
I could picture Prince singing the song
Yeah,
and making it,
yeah.
which I don't know if that was his intention or not, because I felt like it took away from the album a bit because I was like,
Yeah, it's a bit
is this
distracting.
Prince or is this
Yeah.
yeah.
But I do have to say my favorite song on the album was Human. I thought that was like the
Mhm.
catchiest
Oh, absolutely.
melody and like the
Mhm.
most Prince song on the album.
I thought "Let It Ride" was more Prince than
Oh, okay,
"Human,"
yeah. That's true. Yeah.
right? Um, I really enjoyed "Paralyzed." I thought that song
Oh,
was sweet.
yeah.
Uh, but but yeah, like I mean, there was nothing really like that stood out.
hmm
I am interested because like he looks very good for 60 like mid 60s. Like so I'm interested if he's going to have that stamina when he's
Oh,
performing, you know?
I assume so. He has a big band to like cover
Mhm.
any sort of breaks he needs, so I'm sure he'll be fine. Um,
But like going through like some of the other albums that I've listened to, like It's Time for a Love Revolution, Strut, you know, Baptism was good too. But I just felt like he went away from that like because he it was very rock heavy and then he added a bit of funk to it, right?
mm,
Because obviously he's like very influenced by like Jimi Hendrix
yep.
and artists like that. But I don't know what happened with this one. I don't know why this sounds
Interesting.
like Prince. I don't know why. Not that I didn't. I hated it. I enjoyed it, but I just felt like okay, I forgot about the album. Like I had to listen to it again because
Interesting. Yeah, because like from my perspective, I've never really listened to any Lenny Kravitz
mm,
outside of the singles that are on the radio all the time. Like obviously everyone knows those songs, but I've never actually listened to any other albums. So it's interesting to hear that
Mhm.
this is potentially the first instance of being like this funky versus like more of a rock sound.
Well, because like the song "Fly Away" or
Yes.
his
Yeah, yeah,
cover
yeah.
of "American Woman"
Those are
or
very rock.
yeah, "Can't Get You Off My Mind," right? Like very rock heavy, very heavy on guitar,
Yeah.
which I was missing because like when I hear Lenny Kravitz, I'm like he plays guitar very well.
Yes.
So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to hear more. Like I wanted to hear those like right,
Yeah.
but didn't get that in this album.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. I guess we'll just do final thoughts and ratings and see, because yeah, I don't know. It was a very middling. Although it was it was produced really well. Like I thought it
Mhm.
sounded good. It's just the songs were sort of just like average.
Very average.
Yeah.
Yeah. The production was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And you know what? If I had to choose the song order of the albums, I would be happy. Like I was happy
Mm,
with the order.
yeah.
I wouldn't rearrange anything. Like if you're wanting to know what a good album to compare to of how it's arranged, it's like this,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It had perfect ebbs and flows. The songs flowed well. Um, unlike most stuff where it's like either top heavy or bottom heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts and ratings. What are you gonna give it, Eric?
I mean, I want to give it an 8 out of 10 just because he's jacked at 65.
That's that. That's unrelated.
But it's unrelated to music. It's unrelated to this podcast. So again, Lenny Kravitz, if you're ever listening to this album, I would love to know what your eating routine is and your gym routine is. um, but I'm gonna have to give this album a 6 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, 6.
Like I
That's a
didn't
fair
hate it.
score.
I
Yeah.
actually didn't hate it. Like there's wasn't one song where I was like, this song's shit. But it
That's
was just
true.
kind of just meh. It was like boring.
That is true. There isn't a song on this album that you like really hated. It's all just like it's nice.
Hmm.
It's nice enough. Um yeah, I was debating whether to give it a 6 or 7, but I think I'm going to stick with a 7 for this one just cuz like there's nothing really to complain about for this record. I think
Yeah.
it's a good enough record. It's just like the songs are just average, and it's like hard to really
Mm.
get excited about this record, but to put it on and just like have it in the background and listen to it, it's like it's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he made this album and he wanted to see. I wonder how many people are gonna think this is a Prince album, and tried to fool them.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll give it a 7 just cuz I thought it was an okay record, like nothing
Mhm.
really to complain about, but nothing to get excited about either. All right, cool. So that was our discussion on Blue Electric Light by Lenny Kravitz. For those of you following along with us every single week, another legacy act. I don't know how old this man is, but I feel like he's in his 60s or 70s also. But we are going to be discussing the brand new album by Bon Jovi, Forever,
Mhm.
which I've already started listening to. So I'm very excited to talk about this one.
Okay, okay.
I'm
I
I'm so ready to talk about this record because I have a lot of thoughts on it.
Oh, good or bad?
Both.
Okay.
Some real bad, like really harsh criticisms about it, but there were some really good elements on it. So, and yeah, Chasing
Yeah.
Dragonflies knows that I love Bon Jovi. So,
Shot to the heart.
oh, Bon Jovi. Freak. But yeah, Forever, Bon Jovi, brand new record. We'll be discussing that next week. All right. Controversial statements for this week. Eric did say or call Elvis the fake king of music. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would probably agree with that take, though.
I don't know because there's a lot of people who are like lose their mind. They're like, "What? What? How?" But they also lose their mind when they say, ABBA is the music of psychopaths. So they always are like, how do you not like ABBA? So maybe I'm the psychopath.
I don't know. Elvis, like personally, I love Elvis, but like he's definitely not the king of rock and roll. Like
No,
that's ridiculous. That's
no, it's
absolutely ridiculous.
Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry's the king of rock and roll
Yeah.
in my eyes. So
Yeah.
I should just go to Memphis and just spray paint Chuck Berry
I'm,
over
I'm sure the
everything.
whole town will come out with pitchforks and chase you out.
And that's when you'll be doing your episode being like, hey, we're looking for a new host. Like, anybody want to apply?
Anyways, that's the podcast. This is Crossroads Music Podcast for another week. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast. We will be back here next Wednesday at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. Catch us on all the podcast platforms. YouTube, our album reviews are there. Yell at us on YouTube or join the Discord and you can tell us where we're wrong. You might have really loved this record. You might have really hated this record, but let us know.
We still want to know.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in. This is us signing off for another week. Thanks. And we will catch you all next time.